Good morning. This is your weekly update with Jim Stewart. I'm the Chief Investment Officer here at Worth Asset Management. Today is June 20th, 2023, and I'm going to go over your three threes for the week. I'm going to go over our top 10 major asset classes, their performance, and how we're positioned on the short-term and intermediate-term basis. Then I'm going to look at the equity market in the form of the S&P 500 and check the support and resistance zones. Then I'm going to go over the top three market movers for the week. So let's jump on in. Okay, let's go over the top 10 major asset classes, their performance, and how we're positioned on the short-term and intermediate-term basis. Last week, we had a sell-off in the U.S. dollar and in gold, while bonds and the majority of the equities, including commodities, all had a positive week. We still are bearish on the short-term basis for bonds and gold. And now the U.S. dollar has turned bearish. On the bullish side, we've had some new entries, and so this rally that we're seeing is continuing to broaden out in the form of real estate and commodities. Now, we got to be careful of commodities because as commodities rise, that's going to start to affect inflation, and that's going to affect interest rates. So we've got to keep a very close eye on the commodity prices on a short-term and intermediate-term basis. If we go out to 3 months on an intermediate-term basis, we've had a new entry on the Russell 2000 here recently. We are still bearish, though, on the real estate and commodities. However, they have also turned positive on a 3-month basis, but they're right there on the neutral line. So we got to keep an eye on and see if those go from bearish to bullish. And if they do, like I said, it's going to start to affect inflation, and then down the road, interest rates. So we got to keep that in mind. All right, let's look at how the S&P 500 looks and how we're positioned. Again, we started adding back at the end of March. We've had a nice rally, as you can see, but how do we look on the support and resistance zones? We finally broke that 4,200, and last week and the week before I said, hey, if we can get up above 43 and break that, we go into the next resistance zone, and that is a very large resistance zone in the 43.20 to almost 4,500. So we are now inside that. As I said last week, we'll probably trade inside there here over the short term. And my guess is that we're going to have to come back down and retest that 4,200. Now that earnings season and we're in this quiet period, we could easily come back down and retest that 4,200. And that will be a good indication or a breather in this market, which this market needs. And then we got to see, where do we go from them? Do we go back up into the 43 to 45? Or do we start to break down? So that we got to keep a really close eye on. All right, let's go over the top three market movers for this week. Monday and Tuesday. Today's being Tuesday. Yesterday we had the National Association of Home Builders. Actually was a very high number. The projection was 51, actually came in at 54. So that was a huge surprise yesterday. And today we're going to get housing starts and building permits. So we'll see if that continues. But the bottom line is, even though we've had some problems in the housing side, they still have to build homes, and we still are in really need of homes. So they're not going to just sit on the sidelines. So we do anticipate that those numbers are going to be on the higher side, especially because this is a buying opportunity for building homes here in the summer. On Wednesday and Thursday, we have Chair Powell's semi-annual testimony. So he reports to the House on Wednesday and the Senate on Thursday. So the market will be looking for indications on what he's going to be doing next. So the market will be closely watching that. On Friday, we have Purchasing Managers Index. That will be the key indicator heading into Friday. All right, that's it for this week. Thanks again for joining us. Our next update is Monday, June 26th. As always, continue to subscribe, like, and comment, and we shall see you next week. Have a great week trading.